Whisper where your heart's silent, buried in mine.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Grammar by Dan. I'm Dan, and today we're doing part 2 of a philosophy series I'm calling The Structures of Knowledge. And today we're talking about an alternative to foundationalism, which we discussed last week. And this alternative is called Coherentism. Okay, so the question is, what is Coherentism? Once again, we can go from the root word of Coherentism, which is coherent. So, in short, Coherentism was an alternative to foundationalism, which said that the structure of knowledge, so how all those beliefs are structured in our head, isn't that we start with some certain beliefs at the bottom and build everything up, but that everything has to interconnect, so that everything has to join together, and you get knowledge from the way that these different beliefs interconnect and are consistent with each other. So I'll go on to explain that a little bit later, but for now, I just wanted to quickly explain one of the arguments against foundationalism so we know why coherentism is necessary. So foundationalism, so why not foundationalism? Yeah, foundationalism was the idea that you needed a certain belief, right? Like at the bottom of your knowledge, you needed these certain beliefs, whether they be your reason or whether they be your sense experience, you needed a certain belief. But the coherentist gave two reasons why a certain belief might not exist. He said that a certain belief is either going to be unjustified or not foundational. And I drew a little diagram here to point this out. So CB means certain belief, B means belief. So if you have a certain belief, okay, every belief needs to be justified in some way, correct? So if I say, it is raining outside, I need to give a reason for that. I have to have another belief. It's raining outside because it's raining, I can see it, or somebody told me it's raining. But if you apply the same thing to a certain belief, okay, and you say, okay, I have a certain belief, and the reason why it's justified is because of another belief, because I can think, because I can feel, or whatever, then that certain belief is not foundational, okay? That seems to be more like just a regular belief than a certain belief if it's being justified on something else. And if you did watch the other video, I brought up the problem of the infinite regress. And if you accept this type of argument, the infinite regress comes up again. The second thing that the coherentist wants to say is that, okay, let's say the foundationalist says, alright, our beliefs aren't justified by another belief, okay? They're justified in themselves, or they're self-evident, or they're something like that. Then the coherentist is going to say, well, your certain belief isn't justified on a belief, correct? So if your certain belief isn't justified on a belief, then your belief is unjustified, right? There's no good reason to believe your belief, your certain belief, if it's not resting on another belief. It's just unjustified. Who knows why you should agree with that particular certain belief? So there are two reasons why the coherentist thinks that foundationalism is a bit dumb. Firstly, it's unjustified, and secondly, it's not foundational. Okay, so remember at the start of this video, I said that coherentism had to do with coherence. So it's a type of knowledge that we see as being internally coherent. And one of the main proponents of this view was a guy called William Van Orman Quine, okay? He's very famous for an idea called underdetermination, which is included in this, but I'm not going to explain it. So this is my William Quine here. And what Quine said is that knowledge is not really like a house where you have foundations and then you build up from that. What he said was that knowledge is a man-made fabric. Okay, so imagine like a blanket or a cloth and you stretch it out. Knowledge is a man-made fabric. And you know, with any blanket, there's always an edge and there's always an interior, okay? And if you were to try to destroy the cloth, okay, and you're gonna cut it, you wouldn't cut it from the interior, would you? You would cut it from the outside. So what Quine said was that is the way that our knowledge basically is. It's a man-made fabric, so we make and organize knowledge ourselves, okay? And we make it coherent for ourselves, all these beliefs, how they fit together, how they rest with each other, we have to be assured that they are consistent. So he said that at the core of our fabric of knowledge, we have logic, we have maths, and we have some strong truths, things that we really believe at the core of our fabric, right? These are not so easily shaken, okay? These are consistent beliefs that are at the core of our experience. But on the edge is our experience. So when we go out shopping or when we go for a walk and we see something, we're constantly affirming or denying our internal structure, the things that we believe to be true. So for example, if I went outside and I saw an alien, wow, you know, that's something that hits from the outside, but it might be so strong that it might even get to the core. So it might rule out a rule of logic. So this is the way that experience works, okay? We experience things and we're constantly reformulating our internal mechanism. But what Quine also said was that sometimes it's not so easy to rule out a rule of logic, okay? So for example, I might see an alien and instead of saying, okay, it's a logical rule that's been, you know, deleted, I might say, oh, maybe I was hallucinating, or maybe I'll make up another reason, because you want to hold on so strongly to these internal truths. So remember, coherentism is consistency, and it's like a fabric. Every belief has to kind of mesh with each other and is constantly changed by experience. And so that's the end of our section on coherentism. I want to thank you for watching if you are watching. I'm going to continue making these videos because they're hella fun, and I'll see you on the next one.